I've got the final UPS unboxing. I've tried 3 videos now. This thing just has not shown up, finally showed up. But first, before it showed up, this thing showed up, but I waited until the other one showed up to unpackage this one. And then we're going to talk about some of the other stuff I picked up. Probably, I just use this for the pick. Oh my God. Oh my God. Those hooks will catch anything except a bass. So let me get that out of the way. I'm not even sure. I think this is a little swim bait from AliExpress. I'm not 100% sure. I think that's the only thing left. Oh, that is not impressive. So I've been let down here lately, I'll be honest, on these AliExpress knockoffs or just whatever hard baits that I've been buying. They have been just a crazy. That doesn't belong there. Get off there. He already lost an eye, and that I guess is as good a time as any to talk about that. Hang on, let me set that down. Give me a minute here. I'm gathering my thoughts. When you buy a bait, honestly, the best thing you could do if you're the, I think I'm already missing an eye, is to pop them eyes out or check it. Try to pop them out. If they pop right out, re-glue them in with glue, because what a lot, almost all of these eyes will come with, they're on that, like the sheet. So you just peel them off and then stick them, right? It's like a little adhesive. It is not a long last. It just, the cheaper the bait, the more common it is. But yeah, so look what I got. I got a one-eyed. I thought I saw 2 eyes. Am I blind or what's going on here? I got a one-eyed fish with no hooks. I want to say this was only like $5 or $6. I think it looks like it'll work. It'll catch fish. It's a smaller one. It can be thrown on almost anything. But yeah, this one looks very good. If you remember right, I got this one yesterday, and this will not stay on no matter what. And I went back and looked at some of the reviews, and guys are saying that, yeah, these don't. So I'm probably going to just glue that in and use it like that, as a little kind of just that oddball crank type deal, and see what it does, because I do like that color. I think that color will get hit, and if it's got any kind of a decent swim at all like this with the lip. I think that other thing, I don't really need any walking type thing, so I'm going to try it like that. I'm just going to glue that sucker in. And then I will give this one a shot. I'll probably either look for the other eye or just put another set of eyes in it. I do have enough baits laying around that I don't even use that I could make up some eyes and try that. There's definitely that aluminum foil looking finish, so it will definitely attract fish. Curious to see how well it works if they hit it. And I do have hooks. I just thought it'd be nice if it came with the hooks and everything. And no, when I'm on there just jumping and putting in random, picking this, picking that, a lot of times I don't read the whole description or see if it comes with hooks or not. But clearly that one didn't come with any more than it needed to. And I could have swore I saw the other eye in there, but maybe I didn't. I don't see it in this package. All right, let's get to our actual package from, you guys know, your favorite, yours and my favorite place to order tackle online, right? Tackle Warehouse. Let's jump into it. Let's get my knife out here. Crocodile Dundee style. Not a knife. Well, it's technically not a knife, but it works. So, what we have here should be some good. Oh, hang on. I got a mess here. I'm going to move the reels just so this box will set down lower for you guys. So I don't have to move the camera. So we got a piece of paper. Oh, I got other stuff too. I thought I got, I don't know. So, oh yeah, that's right. Baby Brush Hog Green Pumpkin Magic. So you guys remember, well, maybe you don't remember. You can go back and watch. If you look up the Poison Adrena footage. No, wait, Super Destroyer footage, I think is what yeah, I was throwing a baby brush hog, and I caught like an almost 7-pounder at a place I'd never thrown a baby brush hog before. And it was a fight. So I got baby brush hog in green, pumpkin, purple, and gold. If you guys know, I love that color. It's pretty much like what the Strike King color is. So the green pumpkin magic kind of is missing, I guess, the purple, but it's got a bunch of other glitter. I hope that's coming through if you can make it out well enough on camera. So very close color, but something about, in my opinion anyway, when you get that gold and purple fleck in that green pumpkin, that for that whole season was the color of choice for me. I'll go this year and won't be worth a darn. And then we got the Ultravive Speed Craw in the green pumpkin magic. And I think I originally, yeah, those I think we could have some luck with those. I just got a few different soft baits since I was getting bait. So anyway, we got the new Bill Lewis, and unfortunately that is one of the worst colors of oyster color, but I figured I'd try it. I think this is one of their new, the hammer trap they call it. I was curious to, just so I'll know what I think of it. I always kind of like trying different rattle traps. Look, I'm just going to pull it out. I got only so many baits, so we might as well take time. We'll pull each one out and look at it. But yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. That hook does not want to slide. There we go. I think that is the weirdest way to make an eye, but the overall color is not bad with that blue. Just looking at it, I'm going to say, no, I'm not going to like this. But I'll try it, and if I like it, I'll love it, and I pick the winner, right? So let's go with another one. The OG rattle trap. You guys notice that color? What do they call it? I can't even remember now. Cali Craw. 3/4 ounce. Oh my God. Come on, Bill Lewis. Definitely a different sound. Now that's the OG shape in a 3/4 ounce color that looks very good. See how that's kind of a duller yellow? Kind of chromy looking though. I don't know. Well, let's compare it to my color that I know for me anyway. I don't know why I don't have. Caramba. I just took myself and everything else over here. This guy. So that is not real far off. So close, but yet so far, right? But I'm anxious to try that out. And then this color, I'm always ended up let down by the Strike Kings when I get them in and look at them. But 3/4 ounce red eye shad. This is, I think, the regular, not a one knocker or nothing. Let's open it up. It is bright. I'm gonna have to throw mud in the water before I throw this thing. I have to chum the water with mud before this bait will work, maybe. Wait a minute, what am I hearing? Is this that new bait that has like the dual sound? You hear that? But then I swear I can feel a harder knock in there along with it. That color actually just might work. I don't know. I'm thinking in the place that the couple of the murkiest watered places I fished, that may actually come into play. But I wanted to try it. And then the main one that I'm anxious to get out and try is this guy. Now, I've tried the LV500s, but this one, LV500 Max Bone Pro Blue. This package is old. That plastic just kind of crumbles. You can see all the balls in there, Sam. Let me look at that. Okay, so see how it's got you got the little ones up front and then the big ones in the back. So I think the big ones actually help a little bit in casting, but then they're going to be just all that extra noise going on. So let's compare. Yeah, you hear that like knocking thing? This got like a dual thing in it. And then, because here's a rattle trap. And my favorite, oh boy, I can't get it out. Oh God, help. Oh my gosh. Hang on, we're gonna do this all over again. We're gonna set them all out where they're not touching anything else. And we're gonna do a do-over. Time out, we're comparing sounds. We're gonna compare the new one, the Strike King. I need to pull out an old Strike King. So what I kind of did it on purpose, is I ordered the little ones from AliExpress and then these from TackleWarehouse to kind of broaden my spectrum of bait. So let's slide this. Hear that? Booyah. Strike King. And OG rattle trap. Hear that? Yeah, that's got like something going on. I like that. They'll all work. I'm almost 100% positive. That's like the smallest BB sound to me anyway. But wait, there's more. Let me grab the other one. Real quick. So these is what I found out. One of you guys commented about it, but these are like the Raid Japan. The little dudes. You hear how more subtle that is. Smaller bait, quieter. So kind of like that finessey thing. If those big ones aren't getting jacked, and then here's another one. There's a... Wait, let me change my hands. These are 1/2 ounce. So really, not only are the 3/4 a bigger profile, they're kind of a louder noise too. So now here's a regular Strike King. Let's compare that. I guess this one sounds the same. And then, I don't know if I've got an OG. Oh, shoot. No, I don't have the OG regular Excalibur. I've got a, actually I do, but it's in here. Oh my God, can I get to it quick enough? I don't know where it's at. Hang on. Hang on. Let's see. Let's see what I can find. I do have, I bought these last year. These are the bigger versions. I took them back out. That is kind of, oh, that thing's dull. That thing, that's why it sucks. That one's a big old bait, but it's kind of dull. I guess it could have its time and place, but I don't see my actual Excalibur that I had. There's just some of the, here it is. Okay, so this one, let me set this down. Okay, so this, and I'm going to try to show you a comparison because I think they're the same thing. Hear that? You hear this? These blue cloths do not work with hooks. That's the Booyah Hard Knocker half ounce, and that's the original Excalibur. But if you look at the body shape and the little, pretty much everything about it, it is a direct copy. So it's either they bought the patent or took over, or they copied it once they stopped making these. One of the two, I'm not sure which. But that's the original Excalibur XR50 or whatever bait. Do they sound the same? Very close. If anything, though, this does have a little more. Depends on which way you're holding it to. Possibly, but I think it's about the same. But this one I actually took out of my arsenal a while back. I never had a lot of luck on that color. No, I don't have any spinning reels, so I don't have any Gomexus knobs on spinning reels. Yeah. Use destroyer. ALF. What's ALF? I'm at a loss as which place you're talking about. The P5 F2 6.5. Is that the Kurosami or whatever one? The Kurosami 611 or whatever they call it. Because American Legacy, yeah, I just, I guess if it looks new and it's like new or good as new, that's not bad. But I don't know what is that 340 shipped and all, or you got to pay shipping? Because if you wait for them or they show up on Digitaka, that's about what you can get them new for. But they charge $30 or $35 basically for shipping. They call it oversized shipping fee or something. But so shipping cost. Oh, and you guys, I've been looking for sure today, and I don't know about yesterday. I can't remember, but for sure today, the Megabass, like when you click on Digitaka and it's scrolling on the side, the Megabass is just gone. And then you go and search Megabass, nothing comes up. So what happened with that? I don't know if they took Megabass down to restocking or something, so they just shut it down while they're doing that, or what the deal was. But I could not find anything Megabass related on Digitaka today. I looked earlier in the day, and then I looked again tonight. I don't know how long ago, but nothing's there. So I was playing around last night and I just stuck this handle on this, the Zillion, just to see what I think of it. And so then I stuck the Zillion on the Tequila Baccarat just to see like what it felt like and see if I think I would like this shorter handle rather than this one. But honestly, on the Tequila Baccarat, I think I'm gonna leave this long 100 millimeter for my swim baits. Not sure. I'll probably try to get a little stouter rod to put. Maybe not even this reel. I might put this assembly will go on either. Well, maybe this reel or the Tatula that I've got coming. But I am going to shave down these corks to match up to like what these are. I just, if you guys can make out how much more round that is, I just like this, just feels way better to me. So I will do that at some point, I don't know when. And then I'm still up in the air with these. I mean, I literally only spent, I like the handles for sure. The knobs, I don't know if they're overkill for like, your average, your regular size. So like the Poison Adrena, 611 medium plus, or, any of your medium heavy stuff. But I guess technically they're not, they don't really add a ton of weight. The reel doesn't feel like it's, that's a magnesium reel and it's not like it's not going to, it's pretty light. And they actually feel very good. Once you are like out fishing with that, if like I fish, I was throwing there's been a few different times I've been throwing swim baits and then I'll throw the big blade chatterbait and I fish this for like an hour or so. Then any other reel you pick up after that, you just feel like, so when you jump from like that to something like this, then these feel small and you're like, oh, that's kind of small. But these are actually a pretty good, big, chunky knob. So I may try to incorporate some of these in on like the bigger, so from that 7-foot heavy down to some of the either possibly 7-foot heavies, medium heavies, stuff like that. A couple of these bigger knobs, but then definitely the handles, and I'll probably end up just going back with these this style, like either cork or these little bit bigger EVA knobs, something like that. And they all will interchange. Like I can switch other ones. This is just a Zillion handle with those Rook, I think, or I don't know. There's a few different ones that you can get, and they come more round, like what these are, like real rounded. They just look funky to me, and they feel kind of awkward. I don't like the way they feel, so I just buy them for like six. I think it's like $12 for a pair, and then I sand them down to the shape I want. It's about the cheapest, easiest way I've seen that they that works because, well, those I went a little nuts with those, just a hair. I mean, they still work fine, but I wish I wouldn't have taken them down quite as far. They kind of went down like what these are, but I actually like them like these. So there's still a little bit of a cup there. And these, I always end up with a favorite pair that just feels the best. And if the shape of those, if you can see, it's still a little bit. So instead of being perfectly, coming down and just being flattened out all across to the back, there's a little bit of a cup there. This just feels very good. So what I might do with this one is order one of these handles in black and put on this with just these knobs and call it a day with this one. Or I may just leave it just like it is and call it a day. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to spend another $25, and it's not going to look a whole lot different because they come with pretty good handles that look pretty nice. I think they've got I'm curious to what the black looks like in person because it could look funky and not good. Looking at the pictures I've seen, I think it would look all right, but I don't know. So I haven't decided yet. Still in the cart. No, I know. Trust me, I drink enough Fireball with my big bottles of Fireball, those corks. I've tried that before. There's actually a place, I can't remember if it was AliExpress or eBay. There's somewhere where you can go buy that. Maybe it was just at one of these Hobby Lobbies, Pottery Barn, or someplace that sells like packages of old corks and for I don't some other sort of hobbyist type art stuff, and I bought those one time and tried to cork out of those aren't just not really. It's not ideal. I mean, you would need, in my opinion, in my case anyway, I'd need more tools than what I have to try to shape those. It's better to just take these, like I've talked about a few times, the way I've got them. I can set it up on my Dremel and just kind of shape them with a drill bit, and then just sandpaper to get them into where I want them. The sad thing is when some of these, when you shape them down, they get pretty rough looking in spots, like this one anyway. They don't use the greatest cork. They're $6 a piece. It's not the greatest cork, and that's what you'll find when those cork cap things on the wine bottle stuff. They're just not that great. But these actually came out pretty good and are fine. I know if I went a tightwad, I'd just order like 100 pairs of them, right, and just start shaping them down and keep the ones I want, and any of them that have just a little minor defect, sell them to whoever or whatever. As much as I dabble in this, I should just buy a whole bunch of stuff and start cutting up the handles and selling single lifestyle knobs and all that kind of stuff. But no, I ain't gonna do that. I'm just getting all my stuff ready for fishing and just kind of tinkering with all this stuff while it's still too cold outside to be going fishing. Getting her all ready. Getting her all, putting the coon tune on all this stuff. You guys know what I'm talking about. Getting her ready to go. I'm out of room. I still got to put all of those big 3/4 ounce lipless in here somewhere. I'm going to have to move these out of the... Oh, that'll be easy enough. These are 1/2 ounce. I'll move them out. Switch some stuff around. Yeah. I know. Some of you will be like, that's not a ton of lipless, just one box. But the others, you'll be like, that is a shit ton of rattle traps. And I only really, I'll be honest, I'll go out and try all these others, and then I find myself, these are the one knockers. So I find myself just, that's what I throw. I'll be like, that ain't working. So then I go to this. That's what I throw. I'm like, that ain't working. I'll throw this. Okay. So literally, I could probably get by, there's a color I like, that oyster color. I don't think you can get that in 3/4, what I think. I think I've been, like, they just don't make it. The Strike King red eye shad that doesn't have a red eye, only in 1/2 ounce. But I was hoping this dude would be the answer. And it may be, who knows, this sucker may be a fish catching machine, but its oyster is it's similar but not the same. But it does come pre-rigged, and it'll probably go up in the 3/4. So I got to make a little room. Actually, this dude will go with the other Lucky Craft. I got two LV500s, and then whatever this dude is, I think, yeah, it's a 6 cents. And this one, I think we caught a few. It's not my favorite, but I'd already bought it, and I think I did catch a fish on it. So I'm like, well, if I go out fishing and I lose this one and I lose all my booyahs, and you know what I mean, then that's my backup. Or if I'm throwing somewhere and I have no idea, I think I'll be hitting this color this coming month or two or whatever, you know what I mean, and I don't know what that place is like. This one and all three of these are basically my sacrificial throw those, because I know this one will get bit. We've caught several fish on that Quake. Probably the coolest looking paint job, but I still have more confidence in my Booyah color, and then I would have more confidence in this one. And I'm hoping to find the confidence in that 3/4 ounce right there from the actual rattle trap. The one that started it all, I think, either them or, I don't even know. I think it was rattle trap, but it could have been the, oh, I already forget the name of it. You guys know who I'm talking about. The other one that's been around forever. But yeah, I got to make some room. Got to make some spots for the reels. I've got the Tatula coming. It's going to be a while because I think they're having some Chinese New Year thing or whatever, and I don't think they've shipped it yet. So that probably means they won't ship it till like the 4th of February, which will be 2 weeks from then. So it won't be a happy Valentine's Day here, or maybe it will. Who knows? So, any other questions? I'm going to try to get out of here. I still got to go. I have not showered from the gym. I went to the gym, and then we had to go somewhere, and yeah, I had to stop and get Diet Coke. And bigger box. Dude, I'm telling you, I started out, I think over my fishing, I'm not going to call it career because I'm not a professional, but just in fishing, let's go down a little rabbit hole here real quick. And you guys feel free to comment. First of all, comment, say hi, hit the like button. It helps the whole channel. It helps everything. It just helps the world if you hit that like button and comment in these videos. These are live streams. This is your chance to ask me, why in the world do you mess with your knobs and handles and all this junk so much? Because I can. But it does help out. But let's take a little dive down, and you comment also what maybe your first tackle box, or how many tackle boxes you have now. Are you that guy that's got the whole garage wall with the pegboard and all the baits hanging up, and you pick this or you pick that? I've always fished out of littler boats. Now I had a Ranger 345. It was kind of a fishing ski with a 140 horse Evinrude. It was my biggest bass boat I've ever had. And that was a nice boat and all, but up here, like I would have to travel so far for that big boat to fit on a body of water that was actually worth fishing, in my opinion anyway. And just the whole hassle of it, I started downsizing. So my first bass boat was an old Mercury not Mercury, it was a Monarch anyway. I think somebody told me that was a Ranger or a Division Ranger. I don't know. I had an old Monarch boat. It was actually a good boat. Looked kind of funky because it looked so old, but it worked. Everything functioned on it, worked. Live wells worked. Everything worked. Then I switched to, eventually got the Ranger, and then I had my favorite boat was my bass tracker. I had a 17 tournament bass tracker with a 25 horse motor so I could fish Tacoma. I purposely bought that boat. I only gave like $2,200 for it. I went a little further down south, kind of out in the middle of nowhere in the boonies. Bought it. Should have kept it, I know. But that thing I caught a bunch of fish out of, but I still have caught more bass, period, out of my bass baby that I got now. 8-foot, 2-man, just square fishing machine. You put the foot-operated trolling motor on the front, you feel, other than you can't really move, that you're as stable as in a bass boat. Because I fished with Matt the year before in his big, I already forget the name of his boat. Was it a Skeeter? Yeah, and that thing was a big one, and yeah, you're stable in those, but my little boat is stable. Ask anybody that fishes out of a kayak that fishes in my boat. They're like, yeah, I'll go fishing with you and leave the kayak behind. So anyway, I've never really liked the idea of having this huge amount of tackle. With all this tackle comes huge responsibility, lots of problems, which bait to use. And I know now I've gone so far overboard, you start looking at different spinner baits, rattle traps, chatter baits. Maybe it's a big swim bait, maybe it's a TRD, maybe it's a shaky head, maybe you need a jig, maybe you need a Texas rig, maybe that jig needs to be a football, maybe it needs to be a round head, maybe it needs to be a swim jig. And you can literally just confuse yourself so much that it becomes like, yeah, man, so I end up usually going out and just going with what the few select in each ones that I know work. And then if it's either two things, if it's tough and you kind of have to stop because they're not hitting this at all, or when it's good, like if all my baits that I know I like are good, then that's when I will also experiment. I'll experiment to try to find a bite. If I feel like what I'm using isn't working as good as it should, I'll start branching out. But then, if the bite's good and you're like, man, they're on this, say if I'm out there and I'm just catching them, right? Then I'm like, well, let me try it. For two reasons. I want to see if something else will work. And then I also want to try to build confidence in a bait. So, and I've kind of done it with this, and I haven't done it with this, meaning that I've tried this one, and I'll be honest, this bait, I probably should throw it in the throwaway box right now because I kind of tried to do that with this a little bit. And I feel this bait is lacking something, and it could just be that color. I thought that color would be okay. It's kind of almost got a, it's not really bone, it's almost got a yellowish tint to it, and I think maybe that's what it is. No confidence in that bait. I'll be honest, the smaller these rattle traps get, I lose confidence in them. Like this little dude right here, I have no confidence in anything smaller than a ½ ounce, and I actually have way more confidence in the bigger. I have more confidence in a 3/4 ounce rattle trap bait than I do a half, and then I definitely, there's that's 3/4. That's my 3/4. Hang on, where's the half? I'm trying to find a bait that matches up. Okay, so like the ½ ounce, and see that quarter, that thing's just that much smaller. And you think, a lot of times you think, oh, downsize, you get more bites, but no, I feel I get more bites. And it could vary, but between the half or 3/4, that's where all of your, in my experience anyway, the rattle trap bites kind of come at. Like the little ones, that dude is just in there just because I do like that color, and I keep waiting for it to kick in someday, but it seems to never kick in. And I've got a few, or I had a few other small ones, but like I was talking about, them little, I feel like if they're on it, they'll hit the 3/4 just as fast or faster than the half, but sometimes I'll slow down with the halves now, but then that's kind of what I'm going to try to make myself get these little guys, if I can get them to working or whatever, and build confidence in them. But I may not be throwing them first. I'll be throwing my confidence rattle trap, and then if I'm like, okay, I got a decent bite going, I'll just see will they hit this also, and kind of throw those baits on those 2 times, and if something just I get to just have that feeling that, like, man, this thing doesn't get hit as much as my good baits, I usually weed it out, and that's what. And I keep every once in a while pulling back out and try them again, but and I've sold a lot of them off to Charles, and I think he even took a whole bunch down there. I think I sold like 200 baits for $200, like $1 a bait kind of deal, like a big bunch of them. But like, there's baits in there. I know they will catch fish, but I'm telling you, if I feel they're lacking on the baits I already use, and I've kind of used them and I've tested them, I'm like, yeah, that bait actually works somewhat. But yeah, so anyway, I just take them. I'm like, nope, they're out. They're out. On to the next bait. Maybe something I'll try either the next season or whatever. So the first, like what I call a legit tackle box that I liked. Now this was when I was younger, but if you guys remember the old Planos that you just set down and you popped open the lids like this, just a lunchbox style, and then once they had 3 or 4 tray, like it lifted and staircased out, it was like, and the best part about that, like, and I kept my soft plastics and other stuff like line, just the stuff down in the main part, but like all my hard baits or like certain spinner baits, or I don't even think chatterbaits were invented back then, but my like lures were out on that thing, and so when you lifted it up, everything I owned was right there, and it was, in my opinion, actually back then it was just so easy to make a quick. I just would scan, and I felt like I could pick a bait, and a lot of times pick a bait that would work. To where now I've got so many little individual boxes here, there. I've got the 4 different boxes. I will go out fishing, and I'll have it in my head of something I probably should try. And it's not that I forget that I have it. I just space off the fact that I should try that. You know what I'm saying? And so you can kind of go too far to the extreme, basically. And I'm going to try to figure out how to fish with as much stuff, but and I'm pretty much OCD about trying to keep everything in some sort of order, as far as marking your boxes, what they are, try to keep them, colors somewhat. Like on my chatterbaits, I try to keep the same black and blues together, the same, anything white. Sometimes I'll throw white and chartreuse together kind of thing, but like pretty much all of them together. I don't really separate them by the size. I just, if I'm wanting white when I grab them, and I've got either 3/8 or ½ ounce chatterbait. Spinner baits I've got in one. I need to redo that. I'm thinking about trying to go to the bags for the spinner baits. They take up less space. Right now I've got them in that big well, you guys know the regular spinnerbait boxes that they dangle out of. And I don't have a ton of spinnerbaits between. Yeah, spinner. Well, I mean, I got all I need, all I really use, and they're usually always between a chatterbait or the spinnerbait. They're usually hitting one or the other, or they're hitting a rattle trap, or then I'm switching to some kind of soft plastic or a jig, or swim jig or jig just slowing down on the bottom kind of thing, or shaky head or something like that. But as I've never really liked. I had one big like soft box, but held a bunch of bigger size trays, and it held like the tray up at the top, and I did not like that. And I came across these. I wish I could buy more because I just buy new ones to replace these. But they had these ones up at Rogers years ago that were called Wicked, and they were just small, soft boxes that held held these right here. I know you guys have seen them in videos. You slide these down and in so you can hold 6 of these inside, standing up, not like this, but like this. Well, then when I just found out that if I slide 2 of them together and I grab the handles, it's like, so I got like these 2 half a boxes is the way I look at it. And when I grab them together, it's one big box that holds 12 of these. And then it has, in total, both of those together has one big side that would almost hold one of these, but I stuff like soft plastic and stuff in it. And then the side deals, there's 4 total, 2 on each one, that hold a bunch of other stuff. So I can pack a lot of stuff in just those 2. But then I branched out. I got all my Z-Man in a whole little smaller igloo thing. Then I bought 2 of the Cabela's bags a couple years ago when they were only like 10 or 12 bucks, that are close to the size of the Wicked ones. They won't hold quite as many. They're not as tall, so they hold them like down and sideways like this. But you can fit 4, 5. You can fit 4 on the inside, 1 on the outside, and then you have pouches on the side like the other one. And those are already like almost used up. I've got way more, and then then I've got these. Oh my god! If you guys remember my whole big this, I forget the size they call this box, but I got it like as a day box, which is stuffed, heavy, overloaded. This is probably as much stuff as I used to fish with back in my first few years of fishing. And then I still have this huge box of my bigger swim baits. And the thing is, like if I go fishing by myself, I'm not lying, I grab all this and I put it in the back of my Bass Baby, and it the weight wise, it adds up to almost probably a weight of about another person in the back, far back. Don't put my seat in. I may and then I put just my seat, the batteries and trolling motor, and then my rods, and then I'm gone. Like I'm good. Like anything I would need, I want to try something, test something, whatever I want to do. But then all it takes is if I'm fishing with Charles, he's got his own monster assortment of stuff he thinks he needs to take. So we've managed to fit it in, but I can't take near all my stuff. I've got to grab just my 2 main boxes, and then usually just my day box thing. So the swim bait box, if I have to, which usually I just don't even mess with swim baits. Now, if we go on his boat, I can grab all that stuff. He's got the 14-foot John boat. And then when I was going with Matt, that was the best thing about the pontoon boat. I could grab everything. Matt grabbed all his stuff. I grabbed all my stuff, put it on the pontoon boat. And you still get like 4 or 5 people on there fishing. And you got plenty of baits to like go around. I just hate the idea of leaving a bait that I don't have behind, and then that's what they're hitting on. If you remember right, the worst day I had that Charles beat me, the only day Charles beat me, I left my day box at home. And I had to fish out of my regular box, and I just wasn't prepared. It's the only reason you beat me, Charles. But then I still have 1, 2, 3. So even out of the igloo thing, I still have probably 4 things like this of just plastic bags full of soft plastics that I kind of like the idea of. I need to try some more stuff here and there. I know I got a problem. I didn't need to buy these new Z-Man goblins or gremlins or whatever they are. But I've been anxious to try them. The minute I saw them, I'm like, I got to get them. And I got to try them, even though I have like 275 packages of Z-Man Elastec that I don't even really need. But I'm anxious to get out and try these along with some of these new baits we've been buying. And I don't know. I don't know if there's any other. I'm trying to, what do you guys use? Matt has a big, it's just those big, like I call it a gigantic Ziploc, Super Duty Ziploc baggy thing that you can throw a lot of soft plastics in and you can kind of just ruffle the bag around. You can see what you got in there. But you can't really do that with Z-Man because if you throw that out in your boat and the sun's hitting it in the summertime, these are going to be toast. So the Z-Mans, I still got to find a way to maybe just to buy another one of those cooler type carrying deals, toss them in, just buy one bigger one and toss all my Z-Man and something like that, and I'd still have to sort of dig through. But then all my other soft plastics, I thought about just getting one or two of those bigger things, and so I can have them there. I'm not going to lie. I'm just going to tell you this. What I thought about doing in my little boat is get me not a styrofoam, but a cheap cooler, just a cheap cooler, and literally dragging it alongside or behind the boat with just all my soft plastic stuff in it, just like everything, and then try to figure out a way to organize that. So like basically get the boat out into the water, put the cooler thing on it, strap it on or whatever, and just drag it through. And if I need something, pull it around, get whatever out, throw it back. Just to, if I'm fishing with, if somebody else is in the back of my boat, I could have that stuff in it. And all you'd really need is because if they're in baggies and they're sealed, even if the cooler were to get whatever, you wouldn't want it, you couldn't drag it behind a bass boat, but a little fishing boat like mine, I could do it. I have thought about doing that, just to have like a whole other room for stuff I want. Because some days if I'm going out early morning and I've got all day and I plan on fishing, I'm not in any hurry, I like the idea of like trying a lot of new stuff out, just a lot of whatever, and just so I know what's what on a lot of some of the stuff I haven't even thrown. I've had it for a couple years now. Well, I set out a whole year, but I've literally had it, and I don't know if I definitely haven't thrown it enough to know whether I really like it or I don't like it. So I do need to throw more. But there are things in here, I promise you, that I bought and have not hit the water yet. Some of these different baits, especially, you get some of the cheaper stuff off AliExpress, and then you just put it here, put it there. Next thing you know, like, have I ever thrown that? Like, I don't think I have. So anyway, if you guys have any questions, I'm going to get out of here. Let me know what you guys think about the whole rattle trap deal. I got to figure out where to put all this stuff. So yeah. I'm anxious to see if I like these now. I was looking... and he's got a crazy YouTube handle, but he told me that these are the Raid Japan, and I went ahead and looked, and I realized I had watched the video. The Hookup Tackle talks about these. These babies are $20 on Tackle Warehouse. The knockoffs, I've got 6 of them for $15 is what I bought. So he said he had tried the knockoffs and wasn't impressed. Said they will catch fish, but they're not like, if the bite's tough, they're not going to really work. So this is the one I already had, and I think I had had another one at one time when I bought this one. So but I'll be honest, I don't know if I've thrown this or maybe one time. And then I bought these little ones, if you guys remember, I had a long time ago. I'm trying to make myself like these little dudes, and I bought these, I think, around the same time I bought this Red Eye Shad one. Just try that more finessey deal, and I've tried this one. I tried this when we were doing real good on that color with the bigger ones, and it was a no-go. So these are probably going to eventually be worked out along with that other little dude. I'm going to try these, but this coming season, I'm going to try these a lot more, and there should be a time if maybe the bite's a little tougher, I'm getting swatted at by the bigger ones, and these should either come on or, I don't know, we'll find out. They're supposed to be real good for like if you don't. I guess I'll give you a quick rundown if you guys don't want to go through the whole. Go find a Hookup Tackle and see what he talks about them and how they work. So they were designed to keep this level. So when they're going, the hooks are straight out behind it. Supposed to help a couple things. Better hookups for the way it rides through the water. But then, like when you rip it up, it's supposed to come and like basically fall like this also, and technically could stand up when it hits bottom. Right? It's kind of has that, rip it, drop it, and it may not stand up, but it has that capability of more than a lot of these other baits that it may hit bottom and upright for a second before it falls, which I can't remember how I fished the one. I know I have fished the one, and I want to say I had another one. I must have lost it. But I will tell you that in person, this color does not look as good as it did in the pics. A lot of these others are very close to what they did look like in the pics. But I'd almost swear that the pic, they must have had an excellent cameraman at the pic of this color in the deal I was looking at on AliExpress, because that color, it doesn't look like a bad color, but it looked way better in the pictures. These others, though, they're pretty close. Can't say I'm a fan of these hooks, but I'll try it. I mean, this looks like a good little baby bass type. Could be a bluegill. I mean, that looks like a good color. I wish, though, that these... that looks like a good... They all look like good colors that should work at any given time, depending on water clarity and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, we got to figure out... I'm going to put... These got to go in here. These are my one knockers. Well, these aren't. These are my naturals. Those two are like one knockers. This one I had custom painted, I believe, is an actual Excalibur. Norm Coulter painted. This is a Booyah. That's a red eye shad. And this is another Booyah. I'm going to put these. Oh boy. Actually, no, I'm going to keep them scooted up front. I'm just going to put these in the middle with the Booyah. Make them fit. Make them fit, and then we got to make room for these things. Oh wait, those are half ounce too. Oh, they won't fit down there. I'm out of room. We're going to make it work. That just might go. All right. These are all Strike King right here. Get out of there, Booyah. You don't want to get tangled up with them Strike King baits. Keep my Booyahs over to the back here. We're starting to get there. This one's going with, you guys, I know I talk about it every video, but them little bands you can get at the dollar store to keep your baits, you can't go wrong right there. Just, they're like for women's hair or something. $1.25, you get those little bands over in the Dollar Tree over in the, I forget what the name of that section they call it is, but you just wrap those babies up. At least to start the year out. That's LV 500, even though I got a natural colored one. Between that and then that red one, I should be able to do good with those. So that'll go with that one. This is my regular Booyah. I got to put him back. That's in my day box. I might throw a couple of these in that. That dude is big. This is a big one. 3/4 ounce, but it's the, I think it's the biggest profile one I have. It looks pretty big compared to all the others. Put him there. Oh, we're good. We only got one more to go. The other Strike King. So yeah, I'm not buying any more rattle traps unless I were to lose something that I felt like I needed. I couldn't live without. One of these colors goes on fire and I were to lose it. Otherwise, I'm kind of covered in the reds. I could lose a couple, be all right. I don't know. I don't even know why I picked that color. That is a crazy bright color. Isn't it? Or is it just me? That sucker... It's bright. And it wasn't on sale. These I got up at Rogers. They were on sale for $2.50, $3.50. I don't know. They were cheap. They were half price. Maybe they were $4. I don't know. They were cheap. All right, look at that. Did we get them all in? We've got, oh no. Where should I put these? If you guys remember right, these nasty things. Well, they ain't going in there. They'll have to go somewhere else. These are my true just rattle trap. So yeah, that thing, I don't know what it weighs, but it's, once you get this one, and then my square bills, and then my jigs, which are even, I think, are heavier than that, and then my chatterbaits and all that, you start picking up boxes, you're like, wow, these things are heavy. I don't know where those are going to go. I'll find a spot for them. I may just throw them in with my big swim baits. And just once it'll be one of those, like, I'll be like, oh yeah, I got those. I want to try them, and then I'll be like let down because they suck. They look like they're going to suck anyway, the way they feel. They feel too light to like be something that'll swim right. But we'll figure it out. So anyway, I hope you liked that video. Me going down a little rant and raving about tackle boxes and all that kind of stuff. But I haven't owned a Plano box in I don't know how long. It's been a long time. So stay tuned. I don't know when I'll be back. I've got other stuff ordered from AliExpress. Like I said, I got the whole other Tatula coming. The drag clicker for it. I don't know if you guys would want to see the video of me actually putting the drag clicker in, or hopefully it's the right one. I sort of kind of took a guess. I think it's that one. It's either that one or it's another one. I'll have to spend another $12 and get the right one and wait for it. But I didn't want to order both. I just was like, I had these other ones sitting around forever, it felt like. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Get out, go bass and bonsai. Stay tuned. A lot more coming down the pipeline. And if nothing else, we'll probably see you on Fireball Friday.